Hey guys, SFP here, and welcome to the first of the last four videos for this FIFA 15 season 2, actually, not the career mode itself, but the season 2 of this FIFA 15 DC career mode. And we're gonna start off here with a first match against the New England Revolution, and things should get exciting, guys. I believe this is the last four. I want to say 4 games. I'm 4 games away from actually reaching the end of the season, and then obviously there's playoffs, and those will obviously be individual videos. I will have a video for each round of the playoffs, but we'll get to that at some point later on in this series as well. Again, anyways, here we go with the handshake before the game, because obviously that's the way you should do it. I never quite understood with the whole I guess playing kid aspect of shaking hands after the game, because depending on how the result ends, there are some sour grapes out there, and I've been on both ends. I've been on the ends where like we dominated a team, and so we actually looked forward to the handshake. And then there's those moments where you basically get crapped on by the other team, and you really just wanna call it a day and just leave straight after the whistle, and you don't want any handshake whatsoever. So that's what I never quite understood with these whole pub leagues and Saturday morning soccer games, those type of leagues. I never quite understood that whole handshake thing. I guess it's to show animosity and I guess just for just being a good sport. But like I said, never quite understood it. And here we go off with the game, and I see here that we're starting off a little bit rough here. We have Aguilar going for it. He's going to go by himself. He's 1v1. He's going for his goalkeeper, and he actually makes it. In the first few minutes of the game, we're up 1-0, guys. And Miguel Aguilar, as I've said many, many times before, he's just been having a great second half of the season here. Another one for his goal tally, and what a great one that is. Anyways, here we go off with the next portion here, and we have a nice corner kick and a nice delivery there by our forward, and unfortunately, I think it was a defender from New England Revolution. Defender actually managed to uh, basically protect this goal, and that would have been a beautiful goal had it gone in, but unfortunately that wasn't the case this time, guys. And now we're our own half here with New England Revolution going for it. And Stevie Caldwell passes nicely to Lee Win. Lee Win can't seem to get a shot off. But that doesn't stop from them getting the equalizer here. With Zavala. I've never seen Zavala. I'm not sure if he's an actual New England Revolution player. Maybe he's a regen. Maybe he just got transferred to New England Revolution. The name does not sound familiar. But that should have been better dealt with by my defense, to be honest. Madeira was just standing there waiting for the shot to happen, and Gajese, his reaction was just 1 second too slow. I don't fault him for it, but it was just a tad slow there. And now they're Alston here in New England seem to be going for their second one. They're really feeling it this time. And Tristan Bowen with the assist, but no, the shot goes wide. Now Gajes is going to put it back on the gameplay, and here we go with Madeira. And that's it for the first half, guys. It is tied 1-1. We managed to get in the scoreboard first. However, New England managed to tie it. And ultimately, they've actually been looking like the stronger side in these last couple minutes of the half. So we have to make a couple changes here. We're gonna put in Martin for Jared Jeffrey, and I believe I'm also gonna put in Chris Rolfe. No, I'm not gonna put Chris Rolfe. I'm gonna put in Santijan, a left back at left wing, and I'm gonna put in Chris Rolfe on the right wing here, and then just switch them for some reason. Which, in hindsight, it was pretty stupid. I should have just manually switched them automatically from the get-go, but whatever. Anyways, what a nice ball there by New England. And unfortunately, they just couldn't capitalize. And Soares was all alone. He should have scored from that. It's just crazy. We got lucky, guys. We got lucky. That should have been 2-1 New England. And like I said, New England are starting off just as well as they finished off, actually. They've been knocking at our door. And speaking of knocking at our door, here we go with Fabi with a nice ball here. And he's going to shoot, and that makes it 2-1, guys. Just as New England was looking like the stronger side, we managed to pull one more goal out of it through the counter. What a nice pass there. And Fabio Spinella will always punish you from that area. Again, what a beautiful shot there by Fabio. And I believe that makes it 9 or 10 in this season. He's been our most prolific goal scorer at the moment. Yep, and that's 9. And New England's going to start it off again. And this will be the last attack. Will we get one more in? Will New England get one more in? Fagundes with the ball. Fagundes passes it to Zavala, who scored previously. And no, unfortunately for them, that's how it's going to end, guys. 2-1. A 2-1 victory for us. And that is a good way to start this video, guys. I'm very excited, especially since we're nearing towards the end of the season here. We have a big lead, obviously. And here we're going to go with the update here from our squad, if I'm not mistaken, after I do this, the press conferencing. And I know the press conferencing isn't really a big deal, but I tend to do it every now and then. And Daniel Cooper is looking very well right now. Everyone else, though, is not... I'm not feeling them. I'm obviously going to take a couple of these players out. Now, Steve Fernandez looks pretty promising here, so I'm going to keep him. I'm going to keep Sturgis for a while and see if maybe he'll bump up to 93. Like I said, guys, I'm only taking 93s and 94s. I know that that's being a bitch about it, and I'm being super picky, but if I don't have a limit or some type of criteria for these youth squad players, I'm probably going to end up signing all of them. I know previously when the feature actually happened, I did not want to release anyone, so I would buy all the players that we scouted, and I would just sell off the ones that basically I no longer wanted, just because I didn't want those players to get lost in what I was gonna say cyberspace, but get lost in the whole FIFA game here, because you know once you release them, they're practically gone. I don't think any other teams pick them up for their academies and such. So once they're gone for good. Now I wouldn't mind those players being poached by other teams. I'm okay with that kind of thing, but I doubt they'll be going for those. They'll probably be going for the 90s, just like I am. So that is that. And here we go with the Red Bulls, which are our rivals. For those of you guys who don't know, and for some reason, if you're watching this for the first time, DC United has a big rivalry with New York. It's always been the whole aspect of which city represents the U.S. the best. And you know, you have New York, which is such an iconic city in the U.S. A lot of people obviously know New York. And then you have D.C., which technically should be the city you think of when you think the U.S., you know, because it's the nation's capital. It just makes sense, you know. Anyways, and speaking about this Classico, the Atlantic Cup is what it's called here. They're actually facing each other tonight actually. And I'm going to watch it on my big screen. I doubt that DC will have a good chance. Right now, they've been slumming it. They've been having... the last 3 games they've been off. And they've been playing very poorly. And as for New York, they've actually risen. They've actually been playing really well. And I like... As much as I hate to say this, I like what Jesse Marsch has been doing with the Red Bulls this season. They're obviously playing a lot better than last season, and that's a little hard to believe considering they had star players like Thierry Henry and Tim Cahill, but they're faring well, way better than what it was last season, and they look like a more dangerous team. than they were last season as well. So they actually could be MLS Cup contenders at this moment. And here we go with our own counterattack. And Rolfie is all by himself. And will he make this one? He goes for the shot. And no. He tries to go for the cheeky chip, but Kyle Rainish, not Luis Robles, saves the ball there. And we have Felipe who passes to Dax McCarty. Dax McCarty, the ex-DC United player, spears them and has them up 1-0. And Dax here was celebrating with his teammates. And there's this whole issue of whether or not you should celebrate against your opponents, against your previous team, I should say. I think it's a situation by situation kind of scenario. I mean, this in particular, obviously, it's a game, so they're gonna celebrate either way. But I wouldn't mind if Dax McCarty in real life celebrated against DC because he wasn't even in DC for that long. So I don't think there's any sort of connection or loyalty that could have been established there. So I'm completely fine with Dax celebrating should he score and should he choose to against DC United today. And let me know, you guys, in the comment section, how do you feel about players celebrating against their old teams? Is it something that is in a case-by-case situation? And before I continue, I guess, we managed to pull one back with Colin Martin here. What a nice pass there by Rolf. I honestly didn't think Martin would get to it. I thought that the goalkeeper had it, but the goalkeeper, for some reason, didn't get off his line quick enough, and we punished him for it. And anyways, guys, like I was saying before, what are your feelings on celebrating against your old team? Is it a case-by-case situation? Do you even care if you have a former player celebrate their goal against their former team, or should they not celebrate at all? Give me your opinions in the comment section down below. And here we go with a nice center here by Santillan to Rolf to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey had the winner right there. What a nice play and setup by all three players here. There, Jeffrey could have had his second of the season, but 'twas not to be, guys. And here we go with Red Bulls going for, I believe, is his last chance of the half. And no, they actually don't get to pull off the half. The ref whistles for half, and that is it for the first half, guys. 1-1, a 1-1 tie, and it's something I'm none too happy for because every time I face the Red Bulls, I want to win. I don't want to tie. I definitely don't want a loss. So things are going to have to change here. Another team I don't like losing against is LA Galaxy, and then obviously Seattle Sounders. I don't like losing against them. I try to beat them anytime that I can. And what a nice shot there from the Red Bulls, but Bill Hamid takes care of it, no problem. And another pass to Martin. Will Martin make it too? And no, he won't. What a nice shot by Martin, though, but a save there by Kyle Rainish. New York's going to have their own counterattack here with Vilches. Vilches is all in. He passes it to Sal Zizzo. Sal Zizzo is going to trying to find someone, is he not? No, he's trying to find Vilches again. And a header. And Bill Hamid with the paw to get it over his net. And I believe this will be the last play of the game, guys. Sal Zizzo seems to be slightly injured here. And they're going to go for the corner kick. Will we find Vilches? Vilches, it does, but Bill Hamid with another paw. Another save there. Oh, now I said Bill Hamid. I apologize, guys. It's Gallese. For some reason, I was thinking it was Bill Hamid. I'm probably going to get some racist remarks at some point in this video. But I do apologize for that. They, like, no joke, they look very similar. And that's it for the game, guys. And I tied. And I'm very disappointed in my team. But there's nothing we can do from it. Just learn and then go on to the next game. And hopefully we can get a positive result for the next one. And speaking about positive results, we have an offer from New Zealand, but obviously I'm going to reject it because I want this Peru offer here. But I'm waiting till the deadline so we don't get any additional games because I don't know how you guys feel about international management. I actually like it, but I'll even admit, and as I admitted, we're gonna do a little squad report here. And while I admit that I do like the international aspect of the career modes, I try to avoid as many games as possible, or at least avoid any unnecessary games, which is why I don't accept them straight off the bat. I tend to wait till about the deadline. That way I can at least weave my way out of maybe 2 or 4 games here and there. And speaking about that, I don't know how you guys feel about international tournaments. Like I said, I like them, so I'm going to put them on the video. However, for those of you that don't like them, well, I'm basically reducing the amount of videos I'd be doing. So I'm waving off basically the potential 2 to 4 games that I have here, and it looks like Bill Hamid wants a pay increase, and why not? Bill Hamid has been great for us. He's obviously not going anywhere, so let's try to keep him happy. And he's gonna go to 30,000 per week, which I think makes him my highest paid player at the moment. And here we have the U.S. Open Cup, guys, the finale against Real Salt Lake. And I think in this game, we're starting to have a budding rivalry with Real Salt Lake, guys. Because for those of you that remember, we faced Real Salt Lake in the finale of the MLS Cup. And now we have another final. This one being the U.S. Open Cup. So it's a step down in the ranks of importance, I guess. But when you have a trophy in sight, you want to go for the win. Even if you say you don't care, you care. And like I said in previous videos, in real life, I guess I should say, the U.S. Open Cup has been looked down upon. It's not taken as seriously as most people would want it to be taken seriously. It's obviously no Copa del Rey. It's no Pokal, the German version. I can't quite remember, or the Coppa Italia in Italy. But it's something that I want to win. We obviously did horribly the first time, being knocked out in the first round, so I want to change that. I want to have redemption, and winning this would be the best way to do it. And so let's see if we can make it 2-0. 2-0 wins for Cups against Real Salt Lake. And oddly enough, this was actually a real finale about a couple of years ago. I want to say 2 years ago. DC United actually won 1-0 against Real Salt Lake at the Riot, aka Rio Tinto Stadium. And that was something that, as a DC United fan in that season, which was probably the most horrible season DC United had in their history, there was nothing I was expecting, and I'm pretty sure everyone had their eyes set on Real Salt Lake winning it, the whole thing. And they had a pretty good team back then, especially when Jason Christ coaching. And speaking about Jason Christ, I'll probably bring up something about Jason Christ later in the comments that he had with his new team New York City FC, against the loss yesterday at home against the Columbus Crew. But I'll probably bring it up later. Anyways, and what a stupidity there by Bill Hamid. Luckily, we weren't punished for it. And we also look at the stronger side here in the first few minutes of the game. We're lost with the corner, and not a very well placed corner at all. And we steal the ball here. Bobby Boswell passes to Kitchen. Kitchen to Velarde. Velarde's going to go for the shot, and a nice save there. But no, Velarde gets it back, and Velarde makes it 1-0. What a stupid goal, guys. What a lucky ass goal. Velarde just happens to be bumped into the ball, and he's going to punish. He's going to take advantage of it, I should say. And that's his first goal of this MLS Cup. Coming in the finale, there's no better way to have your first goal. That will definitely be memorable, especially if that's the winner. And so far, we have a 1-0 victory over Real Salt Lake, keeping our streak of cup finals against Real Salt Lake very, very well right now. And we have Mansali's in the center of the ball. Not a good header by the attacking player of Real Salt Lake, and that's how the first half will end, 1-0. We have the lead so far, guys, but it seems to be an even game. At least when I check the shots on goal and the possession-wise, we seem to be fairly even. And Espendula with the pass. De Leon, Nicky D is going to kick it. And it just goes off a defender here from Real Salt Lake. That could have been 2, guys. And now Fabi's going to put it back in play with a nice corner kick. Boswell. Franklin's going to shoot. And straight to the goalkeeper, Romando. Puts it back in play. And we get a turnover here. Arrieta passes it to Fabi. Fabi's going to go for it. Fabi sees Velarde open. He's going for the sweaty goal. Velarde shoots. And that makes it 2. And the crowd goes wild. 2-0 DC in Rio Tinto. Is this even possible, guys? And in between the goalkeeper and the defender, what an awesome view it is from this angle, guys. Or from the previous angle, actually. The second angle is pretty sweet. I always like seeing it from the goalkeeper perspective. And it seems that Real Salt Lake is unhappy. They're trying to go for the goal here to bring the momentum back on their side. And Hamid passes it to Fabi. Fabi's going to pass it to Velarde. Velarde's going to chip pass it to Arrieta. Arrieta's all by himself. Could this make it 3, guys? Arrieta shoots. And that's 3. This is a disaster for Real Salt Lake as DC United get a 3rd here in the second half. And I think that's game, guys. What a nice, easy tap-in. I am disappointed in Romando. Romando just stood there. He didn't do anything. That is very unlike him. He usually at least tries to go for the save, but no. He does not, and that's an assist, and I believe Velarde is going to be the man of the match this time, guys. 2 goals and an assist. That's crazy. Boswell for 4, no. De Leon for 4, no. It's still in play. And that is the end of the game, guys. DC United wins the U.S. Open... Excuse me, not the U... Yes, the U.S. Open Cup 3-0. And Real Salt Lake fans are crying right now. But DC fans are crying with excitement, with happiness. We get another trophy, guys. This is our, I want to say, 3rd trophy in this career mode so far. We got the Supporters Shield, I want to say. We definitely got MLS Cup last season. And now we can add the U.S. Open Cup to our haul of trophies. And had there been an Intercontinental Championship, this would have secured our spot for the next CONCACAF Champions League. But since there's no international tournament for non-European teams, we don't get to have that privilege. But here we have at least the joy of knowing that we won a trophy this year. We've secured one. We're obviously going to secure the Supporters Shield, so that was a given, but at least we're going to have 2 trophies to celebrate this season, and hopefully a 3rd with the MLS Cup, which is now what we're eyeing for. And the fireworks look nice. Yep. 3-0. That is crazy. Especially since we've been winning 1 goal. We've been winning by 1 goal in the last 2 games. And to have the final... I think we actually didn't even get scored on, which is impressive. That adds to the beautiful run that we've had in this year's U.S. Open Cup. And now, back to the league. And before we go back to the league, I see that Hamid has accepted his contract, which is good, because we're going to need Hamid for years to come here. Unless we get another goalkeeper, which technically we could, but I want to keep Hamid. I want to see how far his growth will be in this career mode. In Scotland, we get an offer from Scotland. Obviously, we're going to reject it. We're still holding on the Peru one. And David Arnold's going to come back from injury. But Miguel Araujo is injured as well for 2 days. Which is basically worthless because there's no point in giving me that notification if he's going to be back in time. And here we go with the last game of the 2015 season here. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm losing track of time here. The 2015. And obviously, look at that standing there. I am 13 points away. So unless I was facing Columbus Crew and it was for 13 points, then there's no way we're not going to win the conference this season. And speaking about which, Columbus Crew is obviously on the other side of the table. They haven't been doing so well this season. Although David Accam has been a revelation at least in like real life at the moment. He's been one of their key players. He managed to get a score. Excuse me. He managed to get a goal last game against Orlando City, and I don't quite remember. I saw parts of the game. I don't remember what the final result was. All I know is that at some point it was a 1-1 draw, uh, with an own goal, I think, by Eric Garrick, giving Orlando the draw at the moment. I don't know how it ended. I'll probably double check that after this video. And it was Harry Ship here. Holy Ship, with a nice cross to Ibamunique, and I hope I pronounced that right, but no, it goes off wide. That could have been a dangerous play. Bobby Boss, no, it wasn't Bobby Boswell. Excuse me, Madeira was not marking Ibamunique that well, which is horrible. We can't have that happening in the MLS Cup, and by that I mean that the momentum is very important going into these games. And Chris Korb with a nice deflection there off the strike. Let me see here, Bobby Boswell patting him on the back. Good job, Chris Korb. Harry Ship with a nice cross. And again, nothing comes of it. Here we go with David Accam. David Accam should not be doing the throw-ins. He has to be in the box. And Ameriqua pulls the PK call against DC United, and it's not looking good, guys. At least not for this game. And Madeira again. Madeira has been questionable. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from him so far. I might have to sell him, guys. I'm not feeling him right now. And here we go with number 10 here, which is not Maloney anymore. It's Ompamanike. And what is Gallese going to do? Is he going to call it right? No, I thought he was going to kick it straight. But unfortunately for us, he manages just to hit the post. Excuse me. And Gallese is going to put the game back. Dolce passes it nicely to Chris Rolfe. Chris Rolfe is by himself. He's going for the goal. And what a nice, smooth shot there by Chris Rolfe. A nice pass. He's trying. The defender is trying so hard to get Chris Rolfe out of balance. But no, Chris Rolfe, with his fortitude, denies it. And then he goes for the nice, cool, calm, collected shot right under the goalkeeper. That is 1-0. And that makes it his tally up 6 for this season. What a mistake there by our defender. Eric Garrick gets a PK call as well. This is number 2. What are my defenders doing? And I think Davy Arnaud, who just got back from an injury, gets a yellow. This is what I get for playing Arnaud, guys. Maybe I shouldn't even listen to him anymore. I wanted to keep him happy because unfortunately he's unhappy with his amount of playing time because we're not satisfying his needs as a soccer player. His needs to be an important player because at the level he is 62 and that is a goal for the Columbus Crew. There was nothing I was going to do there. I'm horrible at trying to guess which direction it's going. I actually went a direction and look at my I mean slow reaction to it. Clearly it's going left, but my goalkeeper decides to go right. But yeah, like I was saying before, Davy Arnaud is unhappy with the amount of playing time he's getting. But when you're 61 ranked, 61 overall, and I have even Colin Martin is in the early 60s. In the early 60s, he is a better player right now than Davy Arnaud, and Chris Rolfe is doing this all by himself. He's going for the shot, and what a spectacular cannon coming out of his boot to make it 2-1, and the traveling fans there are very excited. He's giving them joy. He muscles his way out. This is 2 times right now that Chris Rolfe is just a beast, guys. He's managed to brush off his defenders in both instances and gives a good driven shot at goal. And that makes it 7. He's right below Fabi in the amount of goals scored this season. And that's the end of the first half, guys. 2-1. We have the victory so far, but it's been shaky at best. We need to make a couple changes here. Because Chicago Fire have actually, and thinking about changes, I don't make any, which is stupid of me. But speaking about the momentum right now, the Chicago Fire have been better at the moment. They've been having more shots on goal, including this one. That's just a little bit off wide. Had that been on target, that would have been 2-2, guys. Okay, yes, it was up for the count. And unfortunately, it was a little bit too strong of a kick. We're just going to put it back. And we see here Madeira to Atoche. Atoche passes it to Boswell. Boswell for... oh, it was Aguilar. I'm sorry, guys. That was a horrible call right there. But what a nice goal off the volley from Miguel Aguilar. Maybe I don't need a striker, guys. Maybe I'm fine with Aguilar and Rolfe converting him as a striker. Maybe that'll be good enough for the season. Maybe not, though, considering I'm going to bump it up to world class. I'm going to need a couple more strikers, and Aguilar with his 4th goal this season for the rookie. Chris Rolfe is by himself. He's going for it, and he gets clipped from behind, and that's definitely a card. What color will it be? And it's a yellow. A yellow card for Adailton. Chris Rolfe was going for it, though. He was off to the races. And the center back from Columbus Crew just clips him from behind. And that's a deserved yellow to match the David Arnold yellow I have at the moment. Here we go with the last attack. Akam for the Chicago Fire. Akam is going by himself. Takes on 2 defenders. And Gajese with a nice save there in the last minutes of the game, guys. We're trying not to get scored on one more time, even though we have the victory already in the bag. We have a 3-1 win, and that's how the game is going to end, guys. 3-1. That's the end of this MLS season. Now looking forward to the MLS Cup, guys. Make sure to tune in for that. See you all later.